So much for the view today. Hey replay viewers, check me out on YouTube, Penguin6, Instagram and Facebook's Penguin6 for more videos from Hong Kong. Today we're sort of socked into the fog. We're going to make our way down the mountain we go. Hey, welcome Tom Carlo to Hong Kong. You are on the peak in Hong Kong as we make our way down into the city on my morning walk. Hey Flames. And it's very humid and very foggy today. We've already done our big loop circle. There wasn't much to see because of the fog. The temperature is about 18, 19 Celsius. That's about 68, I think, 66, 68 Fahrenheit. It's a Monday, and I always hate my Monday morning walks. So I usually don't walk that much on the weekend, so Monday is kind of like get back into the swing of things. Well, we got a little bit of the city. No, we're not on top of the Great Wall, we're in Hong Kong. The Great Wall's up by Beijing. And we are trying to look at the city, but the fog is a bit too heavy right now. It might burn off a little later, and if it burns off later, I'm coming back with my drone. And we'll do a drone scope today, but only if we can get the fog to burn off, which it's supposed to do, I think, sometime later. I'm just getting my morning because I got a bunch of paperwork to do today. Yeah, this is actually not that bad. Back up on the peak, it's much thicker and it's much creepier. Hey Tejas, welcome to Hong Kong, where it is a foggy Monday morning, about 8 o'clock. Hey Melissa, welcome to Periscope, and welcome to Hong Kong. You're at the Barker Road tram station right now, one of the intermediate stops on the tram system that runs up to the peak. Down there is the city, hidden in the fog. I'm hanging all right. It's a bit foggy today though, so the panoramic postcard views are absent at the moment. Let's take a look over the edge and see if we can see the tram. We should be able to. It should be coming in. Hey, Spike. Oh, I hear it. Ah. There it is. That one's going up, and no, I walked down. It only goes up to that tower up there. It's like, might as well walk. Hello again. So we'll just walk home. The tram is just dropping off passengers. We are out early. This isn't normally when I used to scope. I used to scope at this time every day, and then I got lazy for a month or two. Sorry about that. We are on Barker Road. This is a road, a public road, though it is very, very narrow. Still cars come, I think the ones no. Built on the side of a mountain. As you can see, if you went over the edge, it would be well nasty if you were to go over the edge. This is my morning walk. I'm Penguin6. I hike you around Hong Kong every day, showing you the sights. Today we're doing our morning routine, then we're going to do some paperwork at home, and then if the fog lifts, we might come back to the peak, do a drone scope, then we're probably going to get some lunch, and then in the afternoon I'm going to edit my video blog. I post a video blog every night at 6 p.m. US time. Hey, Shatin, that's a far away. Not. Did you go to the Derby yesterday? The Hong Kong Racing Derby was yesterday. Oh, big scoop truck. Chow Yun Fat's like auntie lives in this building. I've seen Chow Yun Fat out here before. Oh no, she didn't. She's taking the Tootsie Rolls to the office. 5 1/3 pounds of Tootsie Rolls. Minus a few that I ate yesterday. This is this crazy expensive house street, yes. Look at that little BMW i3. Isn't that the ugliest car ever? Chow Yun Fat, the actor, yeah. He lives, his auntie or uncle lives over there. So one day I'm walking by here and I look and there's this guy with an entourage and I'm like, wait a second, that's Chow Yun Fat. Pirates of the Caribbean, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, The Killer, a lot of other famous movies. He's actually a pretty laid-back dude. People see him on the subway, eating at McDonald's, grabbing noodles in Hong Kong. He's pretty mellow. Show you the fog again. It's morning, yeah? Welcome to your first day on Periscope. It's about 8:20. You were in that movie, what? Did you see him there? I think it was one of the Pirates of the Caribbean. So this is a private house being built. Yeah, 42 million US for the land. Nice. Is there a Big Mac there? No, there's McDonald's back at the peak. And a Burger King. And the Burger King sells beer. One time he saw me out there. He had 42 million just for the land. Now he's building his own Xanadu, basically. What was that? Yeah, I just saw a trailer for the new Pirates. I didn't know they were still making that. Johnny Depp needs money, I guess. Hey, welcome, Kathy, to Periscope, and welcome to Hong Kong. You're on Barker Road, B-A-R-K-E-R Road, one of the most expensive houses, streets in Hong Kong. I do live in Hong Kong. I've lived here 7 years. I have a wife and 2 children here. And I have a very ordinary life in a very extraordinary city. And that's what I show you on Periscope, is the city. Later today we might go get some noodles maybe, I don't know. Yeah, you do dad things too? You're in touch with that emotion. Yeah, I've lost track of the Fast and the Furious. It's funny looking at Fast and the Furious 1 and then saying to myself, one day those guys are going to blow up an airplane with a tank. I'm not a tourist. I live here. This is my home. Been here 7 years, Rob. Yeah, there was a protest over the weekend about Beauty and the Beast gay scenes. I guess the morality story of a young girl falling in love with a buffalo was ruined by the presence of a homosexual character. I haven't seen the movie myself, though. He wants to see it. Ow. Hey, bitch. This is the $193 million house. 193 million US. I think next on the list for my kids is Iron Man or something. My kids really don't know enough about superheroes. I was showing them some trailers over the weekend for Iron Man and Avengers and Hulk, trying to introduce them to the classics. Gaston. Yeah, maybe they just needed the controversy to generate interest. Oh, here we go. A little bit of a view. Yeah, we watched the Pokemon parkour yesterday from Devin, the YouTuber Devin. Have you seen his parkour videos? Those are pretty cool. Like the Assassin's Creed parkour. Not smoke, just fog. It's a misty morning today. It rained all weekend and it's gotten warmer today. The ground is still cold from the end of winter, but the air is hot. So hot air, cold ground, fog. It is thinning out a bit. I'm hoping that as the sun comes up later in the day, we can burn some of this off. You are in Hong Kong, in the People's Republic of China. Did I watch any pirated movies over the weekend? No, I don't think I did watch any pirated movies. I don't think I watched any movies. I did watch some football, some pirated TV channels. I watched the Sky Sports post-game hash of the Arsenal disaster. So we're going to get a good view, but the fog is going to obscure it. We do this every day, so if you come back, maybe another time we'll have a better view. I guess I am a fog walker. 3D, I do 360 periscopes. Usually around lunchtime, I'll do a 360 periscope. Here we go. We got a little bit of a view. The unblock box is okay, but the Mobdro app is getting a little annoying. It's delaying and stuff like that. So this is the $100 million house, and that's a $70 million house. Wagwan, speaking Jamaican to me. Jamaican Yardie. It's okay if you don't want to buy the house for $100 million. You can rent one for $65,000 US a month. 65 grand American. Interesting that they put in pools on the roof, but most of the people who bought them have been bricking over the pools. I guess they're not that fit. I know if I bought one of those houses, I'd have my second and third wives up in that pool every day. But that's just because I become a billionaire. Alright, down we go. Time to go into the jungle. Let's see how foggy it is. Is it ever sunny? Yeah, most of the time actually. It's the spring though. April showers, even though it's March. Bring May flowers. So we're getting into the rainy season. The winds are about to shift. In the wintertime, the winds come in from China and they blow in the pollution. But in the summertime, the winds come in from, say, the Philippines and bring us rain. No, it's not really up on the priority list. So we're waiting for the wind shift, and the winds are sort of stuck in the middle at the moment. There's a Tesla. Lots of Teslas in Hong Kong. Lots of Hondas, too. Okay. Not much of a building view today. Is this HD? No, it shouldn't be. Just normal Periscope. I didn't use producer. Well, that girl's pretty brave. She's gonna go over the edge of that wall. She's looking for her dog.
Daisy, come on! Daisy!
Dog is chasing a pig or something. Yep, she got her dog. So if you're just joining me, welcome to Hong Kong. We're in a jungle path now, making our way down. It is fog. It's very humid. Have I learned any karate? No. My children took karate, but that's mostly a Japanese skill, and here Kung Fu is more common. The pigs haven't been out today. The garbage bins are all standing. I'm not sure where they're at right now. There are a lot of wild pigs that roam through the jungles of Hong Kong. They're a pretty common sight. Many white Asian couples. Yeah, actually my son's international school, he has like about 7 Asian classmates, 7 Caucasian classmates, and 8 or 9 mixed race classmates. So it's actually very, very common. More so than Silicon Valley. And that's saying something. Wild boar, yeah, wild boar. There are a lot of Eurasian models here in Hong Kong. A lot of fashion models are mixed. It's a very common thing. Mixed race models are actually very popular in China. Do the pigs chase me? The pigs will come out, but they usually get scared of me unless they're defending their family, and then they can get quite aggressive. That's why I carry a selfie stick. It's not to take pictures of myself. It's to beat the hell out of a pig should one come after me. What about snakes? Yeah, we got snakes. We got poisonous ones, but I don't see them very often. I think I've probably seen, about a half a dozen snakes in the last 3 years. 2 of which were poisonous. The others were not. At least I hope they weren't. Selfie stick is in my hand or in my pocket. Do you have mosquitoes? We do, but not at this altitude. Down lower, we'll have them. But they're not that common up at the higher altitudes. They like to stay down lower. It's a little cooler up here. This is Hong Kong. You are on the Central Green Trail connecting Barker Road and May Road. This is a path that leads down the side of Victoria's Peak. And, oh, we've got an overflowing water main. What country? You are in Hong Kong, a special administrative region of the People's Republic of China. And I am Penguin 6. I show you the city every day. Unfortunately, today we've got a big fog and you can't really see the buildings. But this is my normal hike I do every morning, 5 days a week or so, sometimes 6 or 7. Usually people going up the mountain look much more depressed than people like me going down the mountain. Do I hold dual citizenship? No, I'm a U.S. citizen. However, I will be a permanent resident of Hong Kong, a green card, if you will, sometime this year. Which will mean I'll have the right to come and go as I please through Hong Kong, and woohoo, free healthcare for life. Free healthcare for life. Not a bad thing. I could always just jet over to Hong Kong, get something taken care of. We have a universal healthcare system here, paid for by the government. Don't hold dual citizenship. That wouldn't be a little too complicated. I need to maintain residence here in Hong Kong, so I'll have to, if I move away, the clock starts running on my residency being abandoned. So as long as I have a place here every few years. Foreign Legion veterans go, oh, I should have joined the Foreign Legion. I actually thought about that once. That would have been kind of cool, wouldn't it? How does the government afford free healthcare? Well, we have no military to speak of. We actually have too much money here in Hong Kong, and the government has to give money back to the people every now and then, refunds. The government leases out the land to the developers for billions, yes, billions US. So you want to build a new apartment building or complex, you buy the land from the government for billions of dollars, and then they use that money to finance their operations. I mean, it's still a tax burden. They're still trying to raise the cost, the more money, but basically our gross domestic product is that with something on par with Germany. We're a city of 7.3 million people. So they've got a flat rate tax of about 16%. Flat rate income tax. Everybody pays 16% basically. It is a fog today. It's a heavy fog. It is nice here. It's getting a little warm though. I could take the hoodie off, to be honest. You have welfare. There is some sort of welfare payments for some people, but it's a pretty limited safety net. However, about 50% of the people live in public housing, government subsidized or public housing estates, where the rent is just ridiculously low compared to the private sector. Yeah, it's actually not that bad to live in a high rise. You have parks to go play in, like, well, where I am right now, and it's neat. My kids can just ride the elevator and pick up a half a dozen friends, and then we have a playroom, and then they go down to the playroom and play with each other. Yeah, basically something like that. My Chinese, no, my children do speak Chinese, not as well as they speak English, but far, far better than most people who speak Chinese. They're like, like a college sophomore Chinese level, in the United States. They've been speaking Chinese, well, since they were born, basically. My son's first language was Chinese, as his nanny in the United States only spoke Chinese. So my son learned to speak Chinese before he could speak English, my first son. My second son grew up here, and his nanny was Filipino, so he spoke English with a slight Filipino accent when he was a little baby. The air is okay today. It's a little humid, though. It's about 100% humidity today. So my son has a little uptwang in his English sometimes, which we relate to the Filipino influences. My kids use some British vernacular every now and then. Have a few words they pronounce slightly with an English accent instead of an American accent, especially when they're talking about football. When they talk about football, they sound like British commentators talking about football, because that's how they've learned how to say these different terms. It is pretty humid. My secret number 3 kid, we actually asked kid number 2 last night. He said, do you want to have another kid? Should we have another kid? And kid number 2 said, that depends. And I said, what? He said, if it's another boy, then yes, we could play soccer with him. But if it's going to be a girl, I'd rather have a dog. And I said, why would you rather have a dog instead of a little sister? He said, if we have a little sister, she'll make us throw away our trains and replace them with Barbies and dollhouses and crap like that. So I guess it's either a dog or a brother. Actually, no, nannies here in Hong Kong are about $500–600 US a month. So for $600 US per month, you have a live-in nanny who works 6 days a week, cooks and cleans and takes care of your kids. In fact, many of my friends have more than one. There is a lot of dim sum, but I don't always eat. Yesterday we had dumplings. We didn't have dim sum. We just went to a dumpling house. And then later we went to a peri-peri chicken house, but the children were still hungry after we had the chicken. So we went to a Vietnamese place and had noodles. We had 2 dinners last night. I was like, okay, whatever. The kids want to eat, let them. Nanny. Yeah, you can hire a Filipino or Indonesian nanny. They come over from there. They live with you. They work Monday through Saturday, though Sunday's their day off. And they cook and clean and do the shopping and get up with the kids for $600. And you have to give them a room, too. Yeah, $600 for, yeah, you'd have to give her a bedroom. It is sort of rough. It's interesting though, like I had a friend who moved from his bank back to the Philippines, and I said, are you going to take your nannies back to the Philippines? And he says, if we continue to pay our nannies Hong Kong wages, I'd be paying my nanny in the Philippines more than I pay my junior bankers with a college degree. And I was like, wow. So a lot of the money that they raise here goes back to the Philippines. $600 is not a lot of money to a lot of bankers. You have to understand, I pay $8,200 US dollars a month in rent. $8,200 a month to rent my apartment. And I pay about $14 US dollars for a gallon of milk, $9 for a box of Cheerios. If I had never married a Chinese banker, I'd probably be, I don't know, a crab fisherman off the coast of Alaska. No, I don't know. I've told my wife that's what I'll do. She's like, are you going to remarry if I die? And I said, no, honey, I'll be a solitary hermit fishing crabs off the coast of Alaska. I think she was pleased to hear that. No, $600 US dollars per month, not per week. Though our nanny in the US was about $600 per week. Almost to the last switcheroo. Gotta go, have a good day. I'll be back later. We're gonna fly the drone and then we're gonna get some noodles. Dining Happy is here. Hey guys! Are you following Dining Happy? She is the cook who cooks in 360 degrees. There she is. Be sure to touch her profile and follow her if you want to learn how to cook all sorts of wild dishes. Oh, what time it is? It's 8:40. I'll be back in a couple hours probably. Yeah. Why so expensive for milk? Chinese do not. Well, I drink imported milk from the United States or Australia. The birds are really cheap chirping out there. This is where I live. I live actually on this road down here, May Road, in the mid-levels, where we're going to be heading to my house in a few minutes. Yes, melamine free. Hey, see you later, Flames. Why imported milk? There's no agriculture in Hong Kong. There's no real agriculture. There's no cows. So you got to import the milk. You can either import it from China, yuck, Malaysia, maybe, Japan, or Australia or the United States. That's the fresh milk. You can get UHT milk, which is the UHT, which kind of tastes yucky, but you can get that from anywhere. You can get that German, Scottish, British, Canadian, Australian, but we don't drink UHT. Yeah, Malaysia, there's a milk dairy in Malaysia that imports a lot to here. Yeah, New Zealand or Australian one. Metallica did play Hong Kong about a month ago. I missed it. Try to stay up later. Yeah, it's tough with the time zones. Let's wait for this car. This is a 14-car garage, you know, because one car is just not enough. Hokkaido milk. There's a Hokkaido dairy milk restaurant, actually, where you go and drink milk and eat these really good scrambled egg sandwiches. Well, a lot of Asians have grown up without milk. I actually spoke to an Asian doctor about lactose intolerance, and he said, you know, it's because they haven't really drank it. You can build up a tolerance. There's nothing specific to the genetic makeup of being Asian that makes you lactose intolerant. It's just a lot of Asians have not drank milk growing up, and they never really developed a tolerance for it. So, for example, he fed milk to his two daughters, and they had no problem with dairy. On the other side, my wife is somewhat lactose intolerant. She can handle an occasional glass of milk, but ice cream really whacks her out. I would say the major cultural difference is as it relates to empathy, in the sense that people don't necessarily put themselves in your shoes to try to figure out how they should act. And as a result, you see behavior that you would regard as rude, but is really just a lack of, well, awareness of others. Hello. So, and it comes also from a fact that you're surrounded by billions of people, literally billions of people, such that putting yourself in someone else's shoes is always a little bit uncommon. So you see it in behavior like somebody will get to the top of the escalator and then decide to try to find their wallet. And you're just like, well, I appreciate you're looking for your wallet, but you know, you're also causing an error. And when you call them on it, you're like, hey, move. They feel very embarrassed. They're very apologetic. They're very sympathetic. I'm sorry. But they don't, as a default mechanism, sort of think, oh, well, what would this other person think about what I'm about to do. It's just a function of the population and whatnot. That leads to cultural differences. As a result, also people are very closed groups. You know, you pay attention, you're empathetic, of course, to the group of people that are important, your family, your workers and stuff, but not so much to others. Hey, Italy Chow, welcome, and check this out. We've got one. Sulfur-crested cockatoo. That's a wild cockatoo with a yellow hat, yellow plumage on the top. Yeah, sweeping the street for $4 an hour US. $2. That bird is a war refugee. He escaped from the zoo and the British governor's mansion in the final hours of World War II when the Japanese invaded Hong Kong. Welcome Maine and welcome Ireland to Hong Kong. We're around the final stages of my morning hike. So for those who are wondering, let's look around the buildings here. A 3-bedroom, say about 1,200 square feet. In that building is run you about 20,000 US, and that building there would run you 15. This one is 10 to 12,000 US. This one over here is 1,600 square feet. It run you about 22,000 US. There's a small building right down under that corner. It's 31,000 US dollars in that month. So that's the rental prices per month in US dollars. Mine, on the other hand, is a bargain at only 8,000. Yeah, it's only snowed about 4 times in history, and then only up on big mountains. Yeah, I didn't have to really have the OJ gloves much this year. House, there are no houses. Everybody's apartment buildings. A true townhouse, I mean like a row house, like a townhouse on the south side of the island could run you 10 million US. My apartment is $8,200 a month to rent. It's about 1,000 square feet. But if I wanted to buy it as a condo, it would be 4 million US. We are almost home. We'll be back today. We've got a drone scope, I hope. If the fog clears, we're going to take the drone out. And we'll maybe do a 360. Well, the average income for Hong Konger is about 2,000 US. If they have a college degree, 3,000 US. But the average income for, say, an international finance banker is about 180,000 US a year. And that's who mostly lives here. Wealthy locals and international expats. Yeah, you're in Shenzhen. I like to go to Washan Bay. I like going to Shenzhen. Shenzhen has a Papa John's. Don't have that here. Alrighty guys, we're going to leave you here with some flowers, yeah? So thanks for watching. We'll be back a little bit later today. We're going to show you around central Hong Kong and 360. And how do they afford $30,000 a month? They write a check. I mean, $30,000 a month is nothing when you're making a couple million a year. Anyway guys, talk to you soon, and I'll see you later. We're going to have a drone scope in about 2 or 3 hours. Drones from the peak. So be sure to give us a follow. Bye-bye.